used during their Passover holidays or any other rituals. Okay? Accusations and counter-accusations against the Jews. So that now, the demonization I'm trying to talk about here can be seen. Okay? In other words, if you read the Bible, there is somewhere where the Bible talks about the Passover what? Feast. The period when the Jews and the people of those days, they could celebrate that Passover. The period when the Jews were moving from Egypt here in Africa to the promised land. The last night they spent before they moved out in the morning. The night when the Lord struck the firstborns of the Egyptians. They were supposed to prepare a certain feast where they took a ram, killed it, took blood, and they
painted
smeared the blood on the doorposts. So that now when the angel of death passed through the land of Egypt, whenever it could come across those doors where blood was smeared, it could pass over. That is the meaning of the Passover. Today, we talk about the Lord's Supper, if you are a Christian. Then we came down to understand the origins. I mean, how did anti-Semitism, for example, come about? How was it manifested? What were some of the conditions which contributed to the whole concept of Jew hating? And that is where we are today. In other words, how far the Holocaust, which is happening in the course of the Second World War, a consequence of racist ideas which existed even before the Nazis. Already, I have told you, we have dug into some bit of that history. From the time they were here in Africa, in Egypt, then they are moving to the Promised Land, then they spread across the world, and the realization that the Jews were not a very good people, and therefore they had to be completely removed from the face of the earth. And the Holocaust was the climax of that removal. Because in the Holocaust, I have mentioned before, we are going to examine what we call the final word, solution. The final solution. And I want to give an intro into race and racism, because some of the challenges, some of the problems, maybe African people, for instance, are going through in America as a result of what? Racism. Okay? This color, this skin color, this group of people, they look like this, they look like that, etc., etc. Skin color, racism. The question is, were the Jews also profiled? As a result of being pushed into this idea of a race which was victimized because of certain prevailing conditions. And therefore, I want us to look at quickly, what race and racism before we sink deep into understanding some of the racist ideas. Racism comes with certain ideas. When these ideas are pushed, when these ideas are applied to a certain group of people, then you realize that there's a problem. Okay? Those people are going to face a serious problem. Okay? And the Jews are not an exception. Sarah, can you quickly go through the first paragraph? Very quickly.
How far was the Holocaust consequence of racist ideas which existed before the Nazis? Race and racism. The process of defining objects by categorization is basic to learning about the world in which we live in.
Mm-hmm.
It should be no wonder, therefore, that this process of categorization through nearness of class and differences was applied in the study of human variations of race. Unfortunately, we shall see the resulting judgments about racial differences, including more imagination.
It was more of an imagination than what? Fact. Proceed.
Race can be explored from two perspectives.
Two perspectives.
One is race is a scientific or biological concept, and the other is a social concept which connects culture and race. It is the latter that is essentially synonymous with racism. Both perspectives appear to have the same historical roots. Indeed, it was not until near the end of the 20th century that many anthropologists began to concede that the race concept, even in its scientific context, was virtually useless. Nevertheless, to this day, race is the heart and soul of the racially proud, and is misunderstood by many who would eschew notions of racial supremacy. Indeed, in 1993, a survey of 135 million school teachers indicated that 97% believed having racial pride